I bought this 981 Cayman dirt cheap for just 15 grand. I drove it cross country with a broken transmission, and then in our last video we tore the transmission apart and found a missing dowel pin and replaced it. But did it actually work? Did it actually result in a perfectly running driving Cayman? We're going to talk about that today. So in our last video, we were just starting to put the transmission back in this car after replacing a dowel pin. So it was time to take it for a drive. I did go ahead and change the clutch, even though honestly the car didn't even really need a new clutch. Just put a stock one back in it. We took it on its maiden voyage over to the Florida International Rally and Motorsport Park. That's the official test track of Grassroots Motorsports, about a 2-hour drive from home. And the goal was to see if the car was, a normal running driving Cayman, and then assuming it made it to the track, to see if it was fast. So, it was a little scary actually shifting into 5th gear for the first time ever in this car, but sure enough, it drives like a brand new Porsche. It has zero issues, zero check engine lights, zero vibrations. Even the 5th and 6th gear synchros turned out to be totally fine. I'm calling it, got away with it. Fixed the transmission for a couple bucks, totally fine. This is like a real car now. So once we'd made it to the track in 6th gear, we went ahead and baselined the car, and we managed to run a 1:25.14 second lap, so just less than a minute and a half. Is that fast? I mean, it's got a Porsche badge, it's got Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, it should be quick, right? Not so much. So clearly, the Cayman did not really live up to its Porsche badge. It ran, modern hot hatch times, if that, and let's talk about why. So, big reason the car is slow at the firm, well, not slow, but slower than it should be, is an absolute lack of front negative camber. So you can see here, it nearly has, I gotta measure it, nearly has positive camber up front. The car just understeers like a pig. It cannot put its front tires to work. So that's a major limiting factor. So why didn't I play with camber settings or alignment settings or anything like that before going to the track? Well, as we've detailed before, when we try to test cars, especially stock cars like this, we try to test them as delivered, which in this case means stock alignment settings, no camber adjustment, etc. So these Caymans, you can't really get any more front negative camber anyway. You need to add aftermarket parts, and we always try to baseline a car before we add aftermarket parts so we can show the effect of the modifications instead of just showing that we did them. Another limiting factor is the very intrusive stock stability control. So it has what's called Porsche Active Stability Management, which is basically driving nannies desperately trying to keep the car under control. And when you try to do a fast lap at the firm, the car is just cutting power and slamming the rear brakes on at every opportunity. Now on our Mark 7 GTI, it also had pretty intrusive stability control. We were able to see more than a full second of lap time improvement with no other changes except for tuning out the stability control. And I think the Porsches might even be more aggressive. Sadly though, there is no little dongle you can use to tune the stability control out. You have to go back to the Porsche dealer and buy a car with Sport Chrono, or you have to cut the wire to the yaw sensor. We're gonna do one or the other. Stay tuned as we try and solve that problem. Now, the other issue this car has is pretty worn out suspension components. So we're not sure if the rear shocks are blown or just very weak after 70,000 miles of driving, but the whole car was just underdamped and wallowy, and we could tell that we had some improvements to make there. So we're gonna go ahead and fix the suspension. We're gonna go ahead and try to figure out how to fix the stability control intervention, and we'll probably throw some stickier tires on the car just for fun too. After that, we'll go back to the firm and see how it does. So in summary, bought a car for about half price, managed to make it cross country without exploding, had the luckiest fix in the entire world and turned it into a real car again, and then ran a pretty respectable time at the firm, even though it's not what I'd hoped for given the Porsche badge. Follow me for more financial advice. Buy that cheap Cayman near you. Until next time, we'll see you at the track.
Support brands who support Grassroots Motorsports. Get your chemical solutions from CRC Industries. To learn more, visit crcindustries.com. Want to see more content like this? Make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video. And for more information, visit us online at grassrootsmotorsports.com.